So about a week ago, when this video is being made, Insomniac's Spider-Man 2 released with possibly the biggest hype for any video game in the modern age. I mean, this was a very hyped game. We we got Venom for the first time since like 2011 in a Spider-Man game. Craven for the first time in a good Spider-Man game since like ever. Um, and the web wings, the black suit was advertised. There was a lot of cool stuff that was advertised to be in this game. And truthfully, I just beat the story a week after the games came out. So for those of you that are watching, major spoilers. Um Also, if you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe and comment. We're on the road to 200 subs, and I would really like to get there before the end of the year. Start my 2024 off on a really really nice note. If not, it's not the end of the world. Sorry, they're taking out trash outside of my complex. But um, so I say all that to say that just a quick rundown. I really like this game. I've said this before and I'll say it over again. My favorite video game of all time, and it'll never change, is Batman Arkham City. That will forever be my favorite video game. Um, but I am not one of those people that's biased in the sense that, see, my thing is I love Spider-Man. He's my second favorite superhero. So I um I have this love for him too for this character, and I'm not one of these people out here that was rooting for Spider-Man 2 to fail. That was not what I was looking for. What I was looking for was just a continuation of Spider-Man and the Miles Morales game. And overall, I love this game. This game is awesome. Um The combat is refined, the web wings, the fact that this game can run at 60 frames per second looking as gorgeous as it does. Like, graphics for me is not the end all be all, but the game looks immaculate. And the story is probably the best Insomniac story out of these three. Um it's a very sad story. Um There's not really a lot of levity, not really a lot of humor. Um, the first 2 games, you could kinda feel like there was humor in it. Not not here. Not here. Um, there's a lot of pain in this, story, and it's a story about people finding themselves, fighting their own inner, demons, overcoming a tragedy and finding out who you really are as a person. And some some people ended this story on a higher note than others did. um but every one of the main characters in this franchise, in this series, their arcs have continued to the point where it leaves it open for a third and final game. And I think that it would be really interesting and really, really cool if they could pull off a third, game. But while I'd say 98% of the population loves this, game, there's someone out here who doesn't. And I wanna make this clear, everyone is entitled to their own personal points of view on things. However, that does not change that I have to talk about the Trash Thrashers video on Spider-Man 2, and I wanna see what he has to say on this matter, he or she. I don't know. Um, I hope this is parody and I don't have to watch for very long. I really hope that homie's not being serious 'cause this is like a legendary game. Like, this is one of the greatest games ever. So, I'm scared. I hope he's not being serious. Let's just get into this and let's see.
That's good.
So what?
It's better intro than what we got.
It's very weird that
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yup. Um, for the record, I have always advocated that Spider-Man should not be exclusive to PlayStation. I think that everyone should be able to play these games. I think that's only fair. I just wanna preface that, I just wanna put that out there. That's made a lot of people bitter towards these, games, and that is a very fair point. Um, Spider-Man should be playable for all people. That's just how I view.
PC two. I think it's just PS5. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, it
anyways,
is.
anyways. So I was trying to decide: should I talk about the Mario game or should I talk about Spider-Man? And I saw the Mario game, and guys, I honestly was so just not interested in it at all. Like at all. Like I really am. Like honestly, ever since that Mario movie, man, Nintendo has just
I'm gonna I'm gonna send this video later to my brother. He might make a, response because he's, like, really into Mario and Sonic. So he might have an issue with that.
been like, I honestly do not care what they do with Mario. So yeah, like
Mm, I like the Mario movie. Okay. Talk about Spider-Man. Let's go. Okay. Mhm. Yep. 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 Uh-huh. Homie, it transcended video games. It, like, for for fans of Spider-Man, the, like, hundreds of millions of us out there, it was our first, like, great Spider-Man game since probably Shattered Dimensions. It had been 10 years since we had gotten a great Spider-Man game. The swinging was awesome. The story was pretty decent. The only thing that I didn't like about PS4 Spider-Man, Insomniac's Spider-Man 1, I didn't like the boss fights much, but they improved that in Spider-Man 2 for sure. It's so much better. It's so much better. This game is addicting. Spider-Man 2. They all are. They're all really, really good games. Like, you cannot look at how these games function and run and say that they don't look fun. Like, you feel like you're Spider-Man, bro. Like, you feel like you're Spider-Man. You can do tricks, you can, interact with people in the, street and stuff. And I completely understand where this guy, I think I know where he's going with uh with this, but I don't know. I mean, Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man and the Miles game were all fun. They were all just fun. When I saw that trailer, I was hyped. I was like, "Yo, we're getting a Spider-Man game in a year? Let's fucking go." I would have waited for 5 years. I waited for 5 years for this game, and I was not disappointed, I will say that much at the very least.
This just looks like some boring open world Spider-Man web slinging, web climbing, building, shooting web simulator with a little bit of beat 'em up in there. Like that.
A little a little bit of beat 'em up. The entire game, you're fighting supervillains in these giant ass scale battles. That's in like all 3 games. Oh my god.
That's literally all I thought. And then I checked out some of
Okay.
that game, and yeah, that's
Notice how he said checked out. Did you play it or did you check it out? That's what I wanna know. Did you play it or did you check it out?
basically it. And so I was like, okay, I know they have Miles Morales DLC or whatever for that game, for the PS4 game, I believe. And now we got a new game. And I remember when this game was
No. So the Miles game was not a DLC. That was its own game. That was like a short and sweet filler game, kind of sort of, just to give Miles like his own game because they were still working on this one. But they wanted to give us something because Insomniac knows how to treat their fans, and yeah, so they gave us the Miles game. That was not DLC. Do not disrespect Miles by saying that that was DLC. That was not DLC.
announced. I remember it was getting so much hype. Spider-Man 2. I remember it was getting so much hype for, oh my
Yeah.
god, you get to play as Miles Morales, but you also get to play
Uh-huh.
as Venom. You get to play as Venom. That was like the biggest thing.
Venom wasn't advertised to be played as. I don't know where that comes from. That's just not even accurate. Like, I saw nothing about playing as Venom, 1, but 2, even if it was, it's fucking Venom. It's Venom. Dude, like, Venom is cool. Venom is awesome. Playing as Venom? Why would you hate playing as Venom? He's one of the coolest characters to play as in a video game. I don't you know, I think there are some people that just enjoy being bitter about, like, everything, which, you know what? Fine, that's fair. But, like, I don't know, man. Just, like, playing as Venom was something that, like, a lot of us have dreamed of for years, being able to play as Venom. Because most of us, older fans like me, who played Ultimate Spider-Man, Venom has not been, playable for nearly 20 years, and the fact that we get to play as him is awesome. It's awesome. It is so fucking cool. Venom is fucking cool in this game. You really can't mess up Venom unless you're unless it's the show Ultimate Spider-Man or Marvel's Spider-Man show. Other than that, you really can't mess up Venom. Venom's fucking awesome. He's fucking cool. And I mean, I I probably sound biased because Venom's one of my favorite superheroes, but I don't know, man. I mean, playing as Venom, yeah, that's hype. That's hype. That's hype. That's how you improve on a video game from the first one. You raise the scale, you raise the stakes. That's what you do. That's how you it it's called growth. It's called growth over time. If Venom was not playable, I was having fun with how Venom being being playable. But Venom being playable for the part that he was even playable at just elevated the entire story for me and just elevated the entire game. They did not have to throw that in there. That added nothing to the story. Nothing. It added nothing to the story. We did not need that. Honestly, we did not need that. We did not need Venom to be playable. But the fact that Venom was a playable character was fucking awesome.
You get to play as Venom. And I was seeing the trailers and all that. And the gameplay, well, it basically looked the exact same except with Venom. But let me tell you guys, when I saw
There were no gameplay trailers with Venom. I think you're thinking of the black suit, G. And the black suit was awesome to play with. It was freaking amazing.
when I saw just recently,
Yeah.
the actual game,
Yeah.
and the gameplay. And I remember
Did you see it or did you play it? Because I think a big part of your argument and why it's flawed is if you watched it but you didn't play it, you got to play it. You got to play it. Playing it, you feel amazing playing it. Watching it, if you're not, you know, if you, you know, are going into it and you're not looking to hate on it, you would be like, yeah, that's cool looking. But playing it is a whole nother thing. It it plays so amazing. It's so smooth. It's literally gorgeous. And I don't really use that word lightly. I
this was like
I
what? Announced maybe 2 years ago?
Yeah, and we were all so fucking hyped for it. It was it was announced like what, May of 2021, and we got it in October 2023. And I just remember at the end of that trailer seeing Venom, and God, that that had me that had me going wild when I saw that. Yeah. Okay. So he said he said the combat, right? The He didn't brush on the first game much. I don't know if he's done a review on the first game, but and listen, I need this to be made clear, okay? I fuck with the first game, but the first game had clunky combat, extremely clunky. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel smooth. It felt like you were heavy, like you couldn't do anything. In this game, they changed up the combat. It's the same formula, but you feel lighter. You feel like a pendulum. You feel like you are Spider-Man. You feel like you're this godlike being that, or you feel like you're a dude that has these like godlike powers and you can move at like the speed of light and you can use webs and you can use whatever you need. And in the case of Miles, Venom, um, but like the combat is refined and it's a lot better. It's like it's so much better in this game than it was in the first game. Like, it's a lot of the same moves, but I don't know, you feel lighter in this one. So, I think that's an L take.
Anyway,
Game of the year? Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. That's what you do when you make a superhero game. So, because they used a very off-brand story of um Harry Osborn being Venom, which to my knowledge has never happened in the comics. And then they do a more mainline version of Kraven's Last Hunt. That's a bad thing. Um Kraven's Last Hunt's one of the greatest Spider-Man stories. It's one of the greatest comics of all time. I own that comic. I have that comic. I love that comic. Um and Harry Osborn being Venom took me a little bit of time to actually accept because I've always loved Eddie Brock and I've known Eddie Brock as being Venom. Even Flash Thompson, like I I like that more than Harry, but Harry as Venom in this game was fine. Like just gi- give me Venom and 8 times out of 10 I'm going to be happy. No matter who is under the symbiote, it really wouldn't matter to me. You can make Aunt May Venom and I would probably be happy about it. Um but you know, using comic books for a comic book superhero video game, yeah, that's what you do, fam. You use the source material to your advantage. Imagine if um Warner Brothers did not use the Harry Potter books to make the Harry Potter movies. Imagine that. Imagine if J.R.R. or sorry, imagine if Peter Jackson did not use Tolkien's work to make the Lord of the Rings and to make the Hobbit movies. Actually, you saw what happened when they made stuff up for the Hobbit movies. Now they're not bad movies, but you saw what happened when they made up stuff that was not in the Hobbit book. Sticking with the source material is the best route, but changing it to where it fits for the story that you're trying to tell is, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that.
That's literally it. That's
Yeah.
all it same game. And you can say, oh, Miles Morales was in the DLC of the
Wrong. That's literally wrong. That's just that's literally wrong. He had his own game. That's literally wrong. But that's fine. It's not the same game, but whatever, bud.
okay? So no, they really only added one new character, and that was Venom. That was Venom. That's literally it. Unless you get to play as like other characters down the line or something. I don't know. I mean, I only saw like a couple hours of gameplay and some other stuff.
Oh, you saw, you didn't play it. You didn't play it. So your argument's literally like null and void. You didn't go out of your way to spend $190 on the collector's edition because you're not a it sounds to me like you're not a true fan of Spider-Man, which, more power to you. That's fine. That's fine. Um, but sounds to me like you're not really a fan of Spider-Man and you didn't want to play this game, which, like I said, more power to you, but don't go making shit up that you don't know what you're talking about. Miles Morales was its own game. That was its own video game. That was not DLC. That was not DLC. It was its own thing. So that's cap. All due respect. Hold on, wait a second. It's the same game with a different story. It's the same game with a different story. With stories from the comics. Yeah, as it should be. Like I said. Yeah, yeah, okay. My G, Venom's playable for one mission. He's playable for one mission. Homie, I think you're talking about the black suit. That's what I think that you're talking about. And if that's what you're talking about, I mean, if you think it's mid, that's on you. 98.9% of us think it's really cool. So, I mean, listen, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own views. I'm not hating on it, but I just think that it's ironic. And okay, if you are talking about Venom, he was a freaking tank, bro. He was snapping the necks of the guards inside of Oscorp. You fight Craven the Hunter in Craven's Last Hunt, and you literally eat him. That's not cool to you? That's not sick? Like what is wrong with you? If you really saw that and you didn't get any form of entertainment out of it, then you went into it looking to not like it. That's the only thing that I can think of, is that you went into this with your mindset of being, I'm gonna purposely not like this game. That's the only thing that I can think of. And you know what? If you would just outwardly say that, I wouldn't be. I I I would have ended my video 7.5 minutes ago, or 5.5 minutes ago, because I would have nothing to say. But you're acting as if your opinion is a genuine thing, and you're coming at it from a place of being in like the middle ground, and you're speaking to the people. Homie, your video is getting ratio. G. You've lost subs since yesterday. Like that's crazy to me, bro. Yeah. Yeah. Because first of all, it was a treat to get to play as Venom. Secondly, Venom's not Batman. He doesn't have an infinite amount of gadgets. He's a monster that eats people. That's what Venom is. He's a monster that eats people. Not much you can really do with him. I'm just saying, like, I will defend that, because if this was a Batman game, I would be totally on this guy's side. But it's fucking Venom. What do you like? What do you want him to shoot missiles out of his hands? Like there's if he actually watched, he would see that Venom did a lot of cool shit in this game, but obviously you didn't watch any of the gameplay that people were, putting out there, and you didn't play it, so you wouldn't know.
It was so predictable. It was so predictable, and it was so bare bones. It was so bare bones. It was so simple. There was nothing here. Nothing here, guys. Nothing.
Nothing here.
And if we want
Nothing
to
here.
talk about quality, oh boy, this game has been getting quite a lot of talk about with
How
the
beautiful it
game's
is.
actual quality and like the
Yeah.
graphics. I mean, oh man, the graphics.
Yeah.
The
It's a gorgeous looking game.
graphics.
It's gorgeous looking.
Wow. Maybe a smidge better than the PS4 version? I'm serious.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, there is a very clear difference between the two games. Very, very, very clear. There wasn't ray tracing on the PS4 like there is on the PS5. You can clearly see that this game runs so much smoother than Spider-Man PS4.
I am serious, guys. What the hell is that? Was that like a motorcycle or what the hell? Oh, I just heard something weird. All right, well, anyways, maybe a smidge better than the
Fam,
PS4 version.
stop,
A
fam.
smidge.
Stop.
Next generation, let me tell you,
Stop,
boys and girls, is not a smidge better.
Stop, fam.
When you
Stop.
hear that word or that title, next generation, doesn't
Stop,
it
fam.
sound so impactful?
cut it out,
next
fam.
generation Spider-Man. I mean,
I'll blow your
when the
head.
Spider-Man PS4 game came out, I was like, that game, I was like, really? This is modern Spider-Man like gaming?
That shit looked incredible when it came out, but Spider-Man 2 was like, "Yeah, motherfucker, move over." Like, oh my god, bro. Like, you're actually frustrating. Like, I can't tell if you're trolling. I can't tell if you're actually trolling or not, or if you're being genuinely serious. I can't
This
tell.
is a
Oh shit. I did not mean to do that, sorry.
modern Spider-Man game? Like it was so bare bones and it felt so empty already with, oh, you just climb generic looking buildings, swing around, that's it, right? Do a little fighting here and there.
Dude, fam, that's every Spider-Man game that's ever been made. You climb and you swing and you punch and you kick. That's what you do in Spider-Man games. Has has this guy never played a Spider-Man game ever? I'm like wondering that. Like, if you're not a fan of Spider-Man, fine, then just say that. Just be honest. Just be honest about it.
That, by the way, looks choppy and also looks choppy in this game as well. Not in terms of frame drops. I mean, I'm sure there's definitely frame drops, but like
No, there's not.
it just doesn't look like Mario's movements in Mario 64 look smoother. Let's just say that. Okay. But yeah, I remember seeing PS4 and I was like, really? This is a new Spider-Man game in the modern day? 2018 or 2019 or wherever that game came out? Really?
2018.
Or maybe even 2017. I'm not sure. But really?
2018.
This is a new Spider-Man game?
Gotta do your
Are you
research,
kidding
G.
me? What?
Stop,
And
fam.
it's the same with this.
Cut it
Although
out, fam.
this is worse because the
Ow.
PS5 has been, I mean, hyped up as this amazing next generation, insane, like machine. And they give us
Okay.
shit like this. Graphics and character designs and models that barely that look a smidge better. Maybe
The costumes were not shiny in Spider-Man 1. I don't know what more you want out of this. Like, do you want them to what more could you possibly want from them?
even a smidge better than the the fucking PS4 game. I mean, seriously. No,
Okay.
guys, this is not it. This is not next generation. I've been
But it
saying
is
this.
though.
I've been saying this in every single new game review. This is not where these franchises should be going. It is not. It is not. And again, if we want to talk about, evolving franchises,
So basically what I'm gathering is that you don't like modern gaming, which is fine. That's fine. That's fine. But just don't chastise the rest of us that do. That's fine. I think I get what this guy's MO is now.
this is doing the same stuff. Apparently, according to the Spider-Man fanboys, this game,
Yeah.
and I don't know that much about Spider-Man, okay? But apparently, according to
Oh,
the fan,
oh. So that proves my whole point. You don't know much about Spider-Man. All right. Case closed. Wrapped up. Boom.
boys and the Spider-Man fans, what the hell are these noises? The Spider-Man fans and fanboys claim
Yeah.
that this game's story, its story, right? Like its whole entire story mode and all the missions and whatever, and the cutscenes and everything are a combination of events from the comics and comics in general.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
that evolution combining old shit?
Um, that's what everything that has lore does. Like, if you're making something for the modern day, you're gonna have to use what's been used in the past. That's what happens. That's how franchises survive. I mean, they could have done a completely new story, sure. But I mean, it's like new enough that if you've never played or that if you've never read any of the comics that you would think that it's a brand new story. Like they took Kraven's Last Hunt and they cut it in half. And they did Venom's origin with Harry Osborn. That's like brand fucking new. Besides Ultimate Spider-Man, that's literally brand fucking new. Like evolution is improving on something that was already great in the first place, but then making it better than great, being greater, which is ironically the theme of these games. You see what I did there? Low quality garbage. Low quality garbage. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the $190 that I spent on this, low quality garbage ass game. I'm I'm pretty happy, and I'm not easy to please. So,
Can you at least put it in better quality shit?
oh my
Could you at
god,
least
bro.
adapt? Like, oh man, if you're gonna adapt iconic things from
Adapt what? Everything else has already been adapted. Like Craven's Last Hunt never ever gets used ever. And then they use it here and he's saying to use other stuff. Craven's Last Hunt never gets used ever. And then they use it and he's saying to not do it. Harry has never been Venom in the comics ever. That's something brand fucking new. And he's saying to not do that. I can just tell that he did not see a single story bit in this game. Not a single story bit. And like I said, this is not personal. It's not personal. It's just that like I'm pretty sure I'd be friends with this guy. But I just don't think that he understands how this series has adapted great stories in a modern way, in a in a in a better way. If they had done it in the style of the 60s and the 70s, these games would actually be shit. Yes, I said that. You if you took stories from the 60s and 70s and you kept them the way that they were, they would be these games would be fucking awful. But what you do is you take stories from the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and you modernize them to make them better. You take out the stuff that didn't need to be there in Craven's Last Hunt and you just give us Craven's Last Hunt but a better streamlined version of it. I actually like Craven's Last Hunt better in this game than the comic, and I love that comic. But I love Craven's Last Hunt better in this game because it's shorter and it's just better and it makes more sense.
franchises, put some money behind it. I'm the animations and the movements and blah, 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 and everything look a smidge better. A smidge,
Uh,
maybe even polished. No, like it really could just be polished graphics for all I know. I mean, I don't know. Like it was not generation out at
wow. Okay.
these people. had,
Famo, no one's coping. No one's coping. We're all happy with it. 98% of us love it. 98% of us are genuinely enjoying this. This is what we've wanted for so long. We're happy, bro. We're happy. We're happy with this. You're the only one that's like not happy about it.
how it
Not not anything else, but like if this was a Batman's if this was a Batman story and they made it that like, you know, Nightwing was like a playable character and he didn't have any gadgets and it was lame as shit, I would be ripping that apart. Oh wait, Gotham Knights already exists. I rest my case.
dog. You'd be tearing apart. You'd be going. You'd be like that one guy. Oh my god! Have you guys seen that one guy? I think he's like an Australian guy who was like talking about dogs that were like in his neighborhood or whatever, and they were like on the news, and he was like,
You're off topic, G.
"That's what you guys are. That's what you guys are to other franchises that you don't like. Okay, that you don't
Oh,
take."
that's us. That's us. Homie, we're chilling. We're literally chilling. Like, Spider-Man fans are some of the most toxic people on the planet. But 98% of the Spider-Man fandom is happy with this game. Everyone is like who are like divided when it comes to the like movies and stuff, which the unity within the Spider-Man community really has been great in the 2020s era. Um but Spider-Man fans used to fight about everything. But now like seeing that 98% of Spider-Man fans absolutely adore this game, like we're not attacking each other. We're not at each other's throats for not liking this game because we all like it. What we're upset about is people saying that this game is shit when they haven't even played it. Like, if you played this game and you didn't like it, fine, but you didn't play it. So you can't speak on it because you didn't play it. That's my whole point, bro.
Keep as much.
No, I think what it is that we hardly get anything good. That when we get something great, we're like happy about it. Because we've been getting shit for the last like 15 years when it comes to Spider-Man and Star Wars and Batman and, Lord of the Rings and shit. Like we've been getting bad stuff. And then the Insomniac Spider-Man games come out and they're, they're really, really good games. They're fun games. And it kind of brought the Spider-Man fans back into the series. Ones that felt like Spider-Man was no longer bread and butter. Like it made me love the character again because I felt stagnant. Like I always will love him as a character, but it made me have a new appreciation for Spider-Man as a character. And so I think that's what it is that we haven't gotten a great Spider-Man product in so long. Now we've gotten 3 straight with these 3 games, and due to that, we're happy.
No, out of 10.
Well, this is game of the year, bro. Sorry to say. Yep.
Tears of the Kingdom for like game.
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom's gonna win it, and it does not. It does not deserve any awards. Okay. 2020 worst.
I think that this guy just doesn't like anything. Which, you know what? That's fair. But to say that Tears of the Kingdom is not a contender for game of the year. I haven't played it, but I've seen my brother play it. That game looks fantastic. That game looks awesome. Like that's crazy to me. I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for those pros. Fam, God of War came out last year. Elden Ring came out last year. What are you on? What are you talking about? That's what you're hyped for, bro? -1. I mean, that game looks like it could be cool, but
Been wanting me to talk about this. So yeah, Spider-Man 2, do not buy. I mean, $70 for this shit that doesn't even look better, like so much better than PS4. This sucks.
well, that's 15 minutes of my life that I'm never ever gonna get back. Uh, what more do you want me to say? Except feel free to like and subscribe because I was just in pain. Peace out. Love y'all.